Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the Now Morning Show, where, as promised, we've got giveaways. Mother's Day is this weekend, and so if you've gotten caught up and didn't prepare a gift for mom, you might have the chance to win her some help. We are talking about a parenting workshop this morning on the Now Morning Show, and if you call us in, you can answer some simple questions and win yourself free registration to the Smart Parenting Workshop. To tell us more, Sule Joseph of Sule Joseph Associates joins us here on the Now Morning Show in his capacity as a psychologist as well.
Yes.
Good morning and welcome to the Now.
Thanks for having me yet again. I feel back home.
Yeah. Always welcome, because as we know, parents could use all the help they can get.
Oh boy.
And the Smart Parenting Workshop aims to do just that.
Right.
But in terms of smart parenting, there can be many perspectives on what that entails. Tell us what this workshop is going to cover.
So essentially, the workshop is going to utilize, or we're going to teach parents or caregivers or anybody who has to deal with children, modern children at that, how to use psychology to work with them, as opposed to more traditional methods of discipline and trying to correct children, right? You would hear children now talking a lot about their rights. And from the time you lift your voice, a child is ready to report you to children's authority or to the police and so on. So how do we parent children in a generation when children seem to have more rights than everybody else, right? That's really what the workshop is about, to teach caregivers, persons who work with parents, how do we parent the modern child? Because remember, parenting does not come with a manual.
Definitely. If though they did, it would kind of look like this workshop, which you actually have a couple of days or options to go through.
Yes.
So describe to me how it will be effectively executed, since we have two different options, 3 sessions in one sitting and then an all-day session in another.
Yes. So there are 2 options for the workshop, right? We would have done workshops in the past on working with neurodivergent children and so on. And persons complained, listen, you're only doing it on a weekend, and some persons could not come on a weekend. So we now decided to give an option for those persons who'd like to attend, but during the week. And of course, after work. But because we require a certain amount of hours in order to impart all the information and for persons to qualify for a certificate, what we did is just decided that we'll spread it over 3 afternoons. Yeah, the 24th to the 26th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So just 2 hours after you finish work, we're going to, it's a lot of information, but we're going to make it fun and engaging and so on. Think of this as upskilling. So if you're in a profession and you're a professional, as a talk show host, you would upskill, you would do, different programs that would help you, be better at your craft. And so as a parent, you kind of want to be better at your craft too, right? You want to be a better parent. You want to, you're frustrated, you're fed up shouting, you're fed up, how do I work with this child and get my child to be the best version of themselves, kind of thing.
So that's one option from the 24th, 25th, 26th, 3 sessions for that first option.
Correct.
And the second is an all-day session.
The second is, it's a Saturday all-day session. For those who want to select that option, you can come for the entire day on Saturday, and we just kind of go through the entire workshop. So it's a whole-day workshop. We just go through training, make it practical, information, that kind of thing.
Now, we're dealing with children of the modern day. Are we using modern technology? This is virtual, this is hybrid. What are we looking at?
So yes, so it is going to be virtual, right? So you don't have to worry. You can do it from the comfort of your own home or your own space. You don't have to rush to somewhere after work during the week. So it is going to be virtual, so persons can just log in once given the access information and so on. You can just log in and participate, right? Participation is key though, because it's active, right? We want the questions. We want to hear what are some of the issues that you specifically are dealing with, so that we can provide actual real life feedback.
Things you could use.
Correct.
Things you could use.
Yeah, not textbook, not Googleable textbook information,
Googleable.
Right?
Lord knows Google might be helping a lot of parents right now. But what are some of the topics or areas you're going to focus on in terms of the workshop itself?
So one of the areas we're going to look at traditional forms of discipline versus the modern child. And if the traditional, because we often hear people crying, back in my day, if I did so and so, my mother would do this, that, the other, and I grew up just fine, right? And as a psychologist, I would say, well, did you grow up fine though?
Fine is relative.
You know what I mean? Right? We tend to resort to violence to solve problems, and is that the best way to resolve things? So that's definitely going to be something that we look at. We're going to definitely also look at alternative ways of discipline. We're going to look at the child's psyche as well. So child mental development. How does the child mind develop? And so based on understanding the child mind, the development of the child's mind, and personality of the child, then we can find different methods to parent a child.
Brilliant. Because you can't tell the child who reads and understands certain things lies anymore. They're going to challenge you, and then what do?
Correct is right.
Good morning, Mom and Dad. Now, in terms of the offering, we are encouraging you guys to call, answer a simple question if you can to win yourself a spot to the workshop. But if you wanted to register, Sule, how can we connect, and what are the costs we're looking at?
Right. So if persons wanted to register, all across online, we have register platforms on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Persons can register. They can also call the office number 260-5658. That number again is 260-5658. Yeah. So they can contact us. We have persons willing to walk them through registration. There are several different payment options and so on if persons want to. For those, we're doing giveaways. So for those persons who want to call in and get a giveaway because they feel they might actually need it, it is something we are trying to do to, again, upskill parents.
Right.
Yeah? As a child, I was a difficult child. So my parent would tell me jump, and I would say, but why? Jump where? For what? Right? And my mother would say when she was a child.
Not much has changed.
When she was a child, when her mother said jump, she jumped. She didn't ask any questions.
Right.
But I want to know jump where? Forward, backwards?
Specifics.
Yeah, give me specifics. Don't tell me to jump, And I think the generation has gotten more and more in terms of inquisitive and wanting information and not just taking instruction. And so we as parents have to upskill to be able to understand how to work with that.
Totally understand that. Beyond this particular offering, though, will there be similar or other workshops or even other services altogether that we can access through Sule and Associates?
Of course. I will always say stay tuned to our social media because we would let you all know what's coming through via social media. Again, that's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can email us at Sule Joseph and sulejoseph.associates@gmail.com or call the number that I provided before, the 620-5658. But yes, we usually have some workshops that are coming up. We would have, at the end of the year, we would have an advanced version to neurodivergence workshop, which is more advanced version to understanding the psychology of neurodivergent functioning persons. That'd be anybody who does not think or function regularly, right? The ADHDs, the autistics, right. So so you should attend, right?
And this means that both parents and persons who actually are neurodivergent are open to this as well.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Invited
Yes.
to this
Yes.
as well. Beautiful.
Yes.
So we're talking psychology altogether beyond the workshops, future offerings, and even this special one that we have. Is there one thing that you'd like to impart with persons, parents or otherwise, in terms of just navigating life these days?
Ooh. What I would say is that a psychologist is your friend. Particularly, your friend in the neighborhood, a Rasta psychologist is your friend. But I would say that yes, seeking out external support or unbiased third party, not necessarily friends. The friends kind of have your back, right? And friends would kind of tell you.
They have a bias.
Yeah, and there'd be a bias. So an external, unbiased third party who is not necessarily there to give advice, because that's not what we do, but to help guide you through and navigate you through some of the challenges, to help you understand that you have the solutions within you, right? And to empower that. So I would really encourage, because I would like to see a change in culture where the stigma of going to see a therapist is drastically reduced. You're not crazy for talking to a therapist. Yeah? So I would definitely recommend that. Tell people to be more open-minded. Children should, just as people do doctor visits, you should have psychology visits. You could go see a therapist. Yeah, just check in. Not even if you just have ideas, maybe you're feeling so hot today or feeling a bit stressed or down. Check into your therapist just like you would do a doctor. That would be my recommendation for that. Check into your therapist.
Good stuff, Sule. And just remind persons one last time, beyond the workshop, how we can connect with you so that we can check in with a therapist.
So if you really do want to, as I said, you can email us via sulejoseph.associates@gmail.com, or you can call the office phone at 260-5658. That number again is 260-5658. And you can check us on almost every social media platform as well.
Well, thank you for checking us here on the Now Morning Show. Sule, best of luck with the workshop that is happening in 2 different options. One that has 3 sessions and one all-day session for smart parenting. You can check it out online with Sule Joseph Associates, but this morning he's here telling us how he can lend his support. Thanks, Sule. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great day. And guys, when we come back, even more here on the Now Morning Show. You don't want to go anywhere.
Not later, but now. Think about the children. Not later, right?